Greetings and welcome back to Big Bacon's Collection. Today we're looking at the Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home Doctor Strange. Now I found it funny that this released like in no time at all before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which had its own Doctor Strange figure. And I actually saw them both in store on the peg next to each other. And what's really sad is that this was the better looking of the two figures. The one they did for the Doctor Strange movie just didn't do it for me. So I wound up with this. Now, we're going to look at the... Now, he did come with a couple of effect pieces, which are not on this figure. They are, in fact, in storage. But we're going to look at the accessories he does display with. Check him out, check his articulation, gear him up, and get him up on the shelf. So, let's get the big one out the way real quick. The Cape of Levitation. The texturing on this is really nice. It is done in a really soft, rubbery type plastic. I think a nice dark wash would have really made all these details pop. Same with the inside. It does peg in instead of hooking in. And you do get a little bit of gold paint app up here near where the clasp area would be. It's not a bad looking piece, but it is a slightly heavy piece, which causes its own issue. Next we have the Eye of Agamotto. Even though he doesn't have the time stone anymore, apparently he still has the eye. Sculpt on the actual chain necklace part itself, fairly simple. On the Eye of Agamotto, it actually looks really nice. Nice gold paint on it, a little bit of over paint along the cording, but you know, nothing can be perfect. It is manufactured by machines overseen by people. So, it's not a bad looking piece. Now moving on to the figure. This is Benedict Cumberbatch. I see it. No two ways about it. The 3-pack used to be the best likeness you could get. And honestly, I think this one surpasses that. And they all surpass what came with the first movie. A little bit of gray streaking, but not overly done on the sides there. Paint is really nicely done. Got his little goatee going on. Hair neatly combed. He's got this overlay piece. It's actually two-part overlay. The upper torso is covered in this blue overlay, which extends down into the lower overlay, which is this hang-down blue. Nicely sculpted, great texturing and detailing along both portions of it. Underneath he's got this darker colored base shirt, some wraps along the wrists. Paint might not be the neatest on here, but it's not blaringly obvious that there's any issues. The hands he does come with, or that I do have with him, are the open hands, not the a little bit of scarring on the hands would have, I think, been a nice touch, but I might be asking for too much. This belt, it's got a sling ring tucked into it. Got some gold accenting pieces. It's a nice looking piece. Although I think they should have done the gold back here as well, but this will be covered by the cape, so I'm not as concerned. Same dark blue pants as he has up top. And then really nice looking boots. Yeah, I want a pair of these. Articulation wise, Head is on a dumbbell. Neck is fixed. So he looks up this high, looks down that far. Not a great deal, but enough to do a little bit of posing. Got some good tilt in there. And rotation. Arm hinges up to 90 degrees. Will rotate all the way around. No butterfly joint. Bicep cuff for rotation. Double jointed pinless elbow, which for some reason does not want to articulate. What about this side? Okay, this side will activate. As you can see, it doesn't come all the way up, but it does have a good deal of range. Hands rotate. Horizontal hinging on the right hand. Horizontal hinging on the left hand. There's a waist cut, which allows for this much movement forward, this much back. So as you can see, there is some movement, but as always, forward is just kind of lacking. You do get a little bit of tilt in there, and rotation. Now, as with most, because the pressure applies equally down the sides, you cannot really get the legs any further apart than this. But because there's a slit in the front, you can kind of get the leg forward. Not too far, but a little bit. Double jointed pin knee, which if you can get it to fully articulate with this giant cloak thing, you're a lucky person. I guess with the slits in the back, it's not that hard. So as you can see, not full range, but decent range. Boot cut for rotation. Foot hinges back this far, forward that far, front facing pin for rocker. Now, deciding how to display him. Let's get the Agamotto one there. And yeah, one of my big issues is the way it just kind of, it's not shaped to actually drape onto him. It just kind of pops up. That up, get that in there, and you're fighting to keep the eye straight the entire time. So maybe the figure with the fixed eye would have been better. I don't know. Pop this head off, put it on that body. Trying to use the cape to hold the eye down. And it's not wanting to play nicely. There we go. As you can see, it doesn't quite sit even on the shoulders either. It's a little high, but so am I at times, so how can I complain? And there we have him, Dr. Stephen Strange. So what do you say we take a moment and get him up on the shelf? And there we have him. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you all next time.